Okay, tell me where you're living.
I think I wrote you twice that I live in the student housing by the Finnish government. It's not Finnish government. It's a student housing company owned by the city government here.
And do you have a roommate or do you have your own room?
We have it's like a dormitory that most of the rooms that have three bedrooms, and we share with different students. I'm living with a Finnish flatmate and a Russian flatmate.
How interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
And do they have them segregated by male floors and female floors, or are they mixed, women and men?
Yeah, it's not mixed dormitory. Usually, we have different. There's no how do I put this? As long as the same flat is it's resident by the same sex, then it's okay. That they don't usually put girls and boys in under one roof, but usually, well, but you can apply. You can apply for a family flat, so you can live with your girlfriend or boyfriend or with your wife.
Oh, interesting. And um,
Yeah,
and do you like your roommates?
yeah, they're very nice.
Oh, good.
Except for the Russian roommates doesn't speak English, so we can't communicate. But he's a really nice guy. He's a really nice guy. He just uh, just destroy all the stereotype I had for Russians. That
Is
yeah, I used to.
he's not a vodka drinker?
Well, he is actually, but he don't drink so much. Well, not like every week, but probably because he's so young. I think he's like 20 or 19. He's not a college. He's not a college student. He's a polytech student. It's like vocational university, which they call this as University of Applied Science.
Uh-huh. And how are you doing with your classes? How many classes do you have?
I have 14 classes.
14
But
classes this semester?
yeah,
No.
yeah, 14 courses. We have to have 140 credits totally to get graduate. Well, but why it says have you have to why I have to register for so many courses because usually Finnish people usually do all it's very flexible here. You don't they just provide you a program structure. You can manage yourself. You can whether you like to take one course or another or this semester or next semester, you can do it by yourself. I do it because I want to get this master degree program done in 2 years. But usually Finns they do it in 4 years.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, the really the amazing thing about the Finnish education is flexibility and freedom and equality. I think these three words can define this.
Mm.
It's really amazing that I wouldn't regret anything that I came here.
Oh,
Even
good.
I told them that I got other offers that it's very interesting that I met a guy from Czech and told me that he would rather stay in Finland than Czech.
Oh,
Even I got do you remember I also got offer from the number two university from Czech Republic? Um, its name is Masaryk University, and it's really he said it's a really respected university and it's almost one of the best in Central Europe.
hmm.
And but he said the system, this education system there is not that flexible. You can only take exam once, and that's all. Yeah, that's all. If you fail, you can retake, but I'm not sure. Yeah, you can. But here it's very flexible. You can take course, for example, this year, and you can take your exam next year. And if you fail your test, you can take it again and again and again. And there's no limit for that. And you don't have to pay. You don't
Oh,
have to pay. in China, they are adopting this. The universities, they are adopting this flexible policy that you can, after you fail exam, you can take it again, but you have to pay for
Mm,
taking retake the exam.
mm,
But here, you don't have to retake. You
mm.
don't have to pay for anything to retake your exam.
And do the
Uh,
professors lecture in English?
yeah, I'm in an international program, so all the courses are in English, except for I registered for one basic Finnish course, which I'm learning Finnish, and it's really a crazy language. It,
How is it crazy?
how it's crazy. Let's see. Every word, every it's not like English. Well, comparatively, English is like the most. I mean, the simplest language because they have so many conjugation. Like every word have conjugation with different pronouns. Like
Hmm.
the first person pronoun or the third person pronoun, and every words have a different conjugation, and you have to memorize. Basically, it's like French, I think, but you probably wouldn't think that's so difficult because it's like French that have so many. It's very uh, precise, very complicated that you have to conjugate with different verbs and with different nouns and different and it seems to be one of the most complicated language. Yeah,
So if
because
are you beginning to understand if you're walking out, if you're shopping downtown, can you understand a little bit of it or not yet? Of Finnish?
a little bit, but it's very basic because the Finnish one, they call it, maybe in America they would call Finnish 101. Finnish one, of course, is very basic. It's just like how to grade with each other and how to save the numbers and something. It's very basic. It's like it's like elementary school. It's for the Finnish kids probably.
Good.
And I'm amazed that they don't want to. They don't want to don't you. They don't want to just not. Even this. The, they don't really encourage you to learn. They say it's okay that it's even for Finland. It's no one. She said no. Now the Finns would think they can speak perfect Finnish. That
Mm.
they really have a development. They have a concept. They have a mindset of development. They say even you are good at the beginning doesn't mean you will be really good at Finnish 2 years later, or even you are really bad at the beginning doesn't mean you will be bad in 2 years. You
Mm.
will learn one by one and little by little, and you will learn eventually. So don't. Well, the teacher doesn't push too much pressure to you even that even they want you to learn this language, but I think she's really open-minded. I think how,
Have you had a
I
chance
think
to
has
go ahead?
I think there are more. Well, there's so much I want to talk about that, but it's interesting this mindset of them. They are influenced by this culture that almost all things are very open-minded and very equal. They have this equality. It seems that Finland now, in my impression, equal to the word equality.
Ah,
Very interesting.
that's true for Scandinavians in
Yeah,
general.
that's in general. Yeah, and I think it's like a basic value,
Yeah,
and it's a basic value for Finns. They call them Finns, huh?
yeah,
Interesting.
Finns. Well, what's an example of the equality mindset that made you think, "Wow, that's really unique"?
Unique that women. Well, for example, women here they don't think they are inferior to men. They think they're not equal. The interesting thing that probably no one will pull a chair for a lady if they go to the restaurant. And my there's one I visited one high school it's interesting that my university is connected to a high school and a middle school, and they are connected. Even actually, the building they're connected. The building of education and psychology. Every department have one building, and this building is connected to a high school. That's very interesting. So I visited class, and this teacher, interesting, she's teaching Finnish and Chinese, and I got a friend also from China that she's visiting this class, so she invited me to go with her, and this teacher is so excited that to speak Chinese with me because she said it's such a good opportunity that she never had the chance to talk with someone in Chinese. So he talked to me, and he said that it's surprising that in Finland that no guy would hold the door for you. But well, it's not true. But they will do this for regardless your gender
Yeah,
or.
just to be
But
polite.
but he said if you're carrying heavy bags like grocery, if you're carrying grocery from a store, you have so heavy bags, but probably a guy wouldn't offer you to help you with this because you think they're equal, that a woman is strong as a man. And there's also one example that everyone noticed that you can see the girls sit on the when you because bicycle is an essential vehicle here, or if you call it vehicle, it's like this is a transportation tool that is essential. I didn't know it's so essential. So everyone have a bicycle. So when I bike to school, I see actually twice that the girls sit next to the road and fix the bikes, and no guys offered to help them. They are just doing that by themselves. Two girls were, and in China, I talked this with the Czech friend, and he said that's not really you rarely seen this that girl sitting next to a road, next to a highway that's fixing her bike. That's not possible to see that in Czech Republic because the girls always want the guys to fix a bike. They wouldn't do it by themselves, and so I think that this equality psyche that you should do this thing, regardless age or gender, they like to do the same by themselves. They like fixing by themselves. I think that's just example, but probably there are many more, and I think. I think I should notice it before I get used to all this stuff.
Yeah.
Before, yeah.
What did you notice in the classroom? I mean, we know Finnish education is so terrific. Did you notice anything in the high school that stood out?
Oh, the class, you know that one characteristic of Finnish personality is that they are very shy, right?
Oh, they're
You
reserved.
didn't know? Didn't know that? You
Well,
probably.
the people say that Scandinavians are kind of reserved. They're not emotionally expressive. Is that what you mean? Or you mean shy?
Yeah, but they have this word shy all the time. They talk about shyness all the time.
Oh,
I told you we had a orientation week, and there's one lecture about brief lecture about Finnish culture, and they say that Finns have this, I would understand, as a poker face, that they wouldn't express anything at all, but it's funny that they can speak to you without any expression, but doesn't mean that they don't like you. They're just very emotionally, as you said, really, you can see they're really emotionally reserved. But I'm not sure that's shyness, but they always talk about shyness. That yeah, because Finland is a cold country, and some people, Indian girls told me that they're not shy, they're cold, but I don't think so. They are very inside. They are very passionate, but it's just they don't show it. They don't show that. And it's very astonishing for me that there's so many things like heavy metal rock and roll that is so noisy music that I cannot. That's probably the only music I can't stand. That is so. I think that will it's disturb your psyche. I think, but so many think they like this music and they seem really really calm when they listen to the music. They're not excited. It's like it's kind of creepy. Well, actually, we have a in this Monday we had a presentation lecture that everybody tell something did a little bit presentation about Finnish culture, and one girl showed us a Finnish movie that she used this movie to tell us the personality of Finns. This movie is it's called The Man with a Past. The guy got robbed in a train and lost all his memory, but in the whole movie, he didn't panic at all. He seems really calm, really this just really composed without any fear or without any doubt.
Mm.
And there are many things that underneath the really peaceful thing that there actually some passion going on, but they don't show it. There's not there's one thing that the soldiers listening to the radio. The radio is playing a rock and roll music, but they just sit there without doing anything, but they really like it.
They're not tapping their feet or clicking their
Yeah,
fingers or anything.
yeah, yeah. For typical passionate Americans who do that,
Yeah.
definitely do that.
Oh, yeah.
Things don't, and yeah, it takes time. Probably takes time for you to. I'm not sure about the Norwegian people or Swedish, but it's kind of really ordinary or very common for the thing, well, at least for the thing, the ordinary. I mean, the traditional things. They are not so, but it's very, also there's one thing that's very noticeable that they are very Americanized. The Scandinavian country are getting Americanized.
How so?
I when I came here the first night, I reserved because it's very expensive. It was really expensive to live in a hotel. It's like 100 euros for one night. It's very. That's just a very ordinary price. So I booked the family hotel. And interesting thing is, it's held by Americans. It's a young American PhD student.
Oh, wow.
He's from Chicago. He's from Chicago, but he has Swedish background. That's why he's very interested in Scandinavian countries.
Oh.
And he got engaged with a Latvian girl, and now they are living in Helsinki.
Oh.
So I stopped that was my first stop in Helsinki. That's after airport, I just went to the apartment and I had a night there, and we talk about Finnish culture. And because this guy living here he lived in Latvia for his master degree and his internship in Finland for about a year. So he's been traveling all around Finland. So he said he noticed a lot of interesting things, like he and his fiancée went to Norway, and they think Norway is like, it's very Americanized. They think they're very boring because it's just like America. I don't know why. Because his fiancée also live in America for how do they meet each other? Because his fiancée was once a international student in Chicago. That's how met each other.
Oh.
So his fiancée thought that she thought that Norway is just like Americanized It's very American. So she thinks it's very boring to travel to Norway.
Hmm. Can you think of examples of how it's Americanized, like fast foods or the music or what?
I think but she didn't mention music. And one thing you just couldn't ignore that we have so many American shows. Like they know all the major television shows in America,
Uh,
like Grey's Anatomy, and Next Model, America's Next Models, and such interesting. And I was watching. They were watching CSI or something. They're watching. They have this. They have this. All the. They have MTV channels in all the Nordic countries. They have so many like MTV3 channels. They have three channels on MTV, and they have American music playing all the time, and also American TV shows. They have what kind of shows? What else? CSI, Great Anatomy, and Once Upon a Time, which is the ABC show. And when I visited the store, I took a photograph that I meant to send to you. That's I found all the DVDs of American shows.
oh,
Very interesting. I
oh.
meant to send to you, but I forgot to do that. I'm sorry. But
Well,
I can send you later.
um, one thing that interested me is a friend of mine taught in Sweden, and he said that there's a pressure not to stand out, not to excel. Like in America,
Oh,
everybody wants to be number one, and look what I did, and
yeah,
I got a prize. And he said he
yeah,
posted on the school wall a girl won a sports contest, and he was reprimanded. They said, "Don't do that. Don't put that up there about her." So I wondered if there's the same kind of feeling in Finland, is that you don't want to stand out from other
yeah,
people.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I was, yeah, I was thinking about telling you this, and I didn't came to this part that yes, there's one. There's also it's because they think that because it's a basic value of equality that you don't show that you know more than other people, or you show that you know less about one thing more than other people. That I think it's because it's like respect to equality. You don't show if you don't show off your talent. You don't show off that you're rich. And in fact, they have this concept they call me. One Finnish girl told me that this concept about leveling, leveling that people are all should be in the same level. That the rich guys are really afraid to show off their fancy cars. They don't do that. They don't buy cars here. They don't buy a really good valley or villas or a big house. But that's this culture actually forced them to buy a fancy car in other country or buy a big house in another country. But they wouldn't dare to buy a big house here. As we went through the streets, one thing my Mexican classmate told me that you can notice that all the houses are almost the same. That you can't see there's a slumber or there's a rich area that where rich people are living. They're almost all the same. They are painting the same and have the same structure. And when I went through the student dormitory, they are exactly the same, but it's it is not a it is, this is not a dormitory house. It's they don't have the interesting thing that the university don't have dormitory. They don't have dormitory house for the students. They are offered by the city government. They have this. They own a housing company. They provide this student house with much benefit. It's like very considerable cheaper than you rent a house outside the student house. So they have almost have apartments all over the city. You can choose to where to live. The closer to the city center, the more expensive the rent is. Oh, I was speaking too far. Went back to this equality thing that in the class, this they are really it's kind of reserved class that they don't talk too much. You don't because and the teacher doesn't really want this one kid to show off that
Are you
they
talking
wouldn't read.
about excuse me, college classes or the high school class or both?
Um, if it's a typical college class with things, you can also see that nobody is raising their hands unless the teacher asks them a question or unless they really don't understand one thing. But most likely they will go to the teacher privately after class with rather than raise a hand. I just one I was interesting that one day I observed the Finnish class because the door is open, is a auditorium. They have a lecture in the auditorium, and clearly it's conducted in Finnish because all the PowerPoints are in Finnish. And I watched that. They're really quiet, except the teacher was speaking, and they're just listening, and nobody raised a hand.
Hmm.
Nobody, and they were just yeah, very cordially, like they are listening to your speech, and amazed is amazing. And for the high school I visited, they even I asked them to. I also helped this teacher because we were helping them. And the teacher invited my friend, a Chinese girl, to conduct this Chinese class, and I was helping them. They were doing a choreography class. I asked them to, if you have any question, you can ask me, or if you need any help. But nobody did that.
Mm.
Nobody, not one student did that.
Mm. You'd think they'd be curious to have somebody from China and you'd
Yeah,
want to ask questions.
probably do. But I mean, for American students, if they have something interesting, they probably will ask you. But no one asks, and they don't. Yeah, they talk to each other because it's really the class is really flexible. They put all the tables together because it's a choreography class.
I don't hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Hi. We cut off for a minute.
Yes, this I can't see you, but I can see myself now.
uh, let me see. How's that?